last video we learned how to find common multiple. Least common multiple is a number which is divided by both of the numbers, and that is the smallest number on the same time, right? Now, what is the least common multiple of 5 and 10?
Least common
Yeah, think of a number which is divisible by both of them. Which number? No. A number whom they are dividing. It's not a greatest common factor. Now we're doing least common multiple. 5 and 10. Yeah, 5 and 10. If you remember 5 and 10, they both. Now we have to find a common factor, and we know that 10 is divisible by both of them. 20 is also a multiple of 5 and 10, and 30 is also a multiple, right? And which one is least? Least is that one. So least common multiple is a number which is divisible by both of these numbers. So the least common multiple of 5 and 10 is 10. 10 itself. Make sense to you?
When we say goodbye in that Punjab, my mom is probably gonna be like,
I know.
oh, what did she say?
I know that. It's alright. So now let's finish that one. Least common multiple of 4 and 5.
So,
4 and 5. 4 and 5 divides which number?
1.
No. One is not divisible by 4 and 5.
Oh, okay.
You see, 4 and 5. If you just multiply them, you're gonna get 20. 20 is multiple of 4 and 5. But 20 is not only. There are many other multiples like 25. No, like 60, right? Sorry, 40. 40 is also divisible by 4 and 5, right? And 60 as well, sorry. 60 is also divisible by 4 and 5. And so many other multiples of 4 and 5. All these guys are multiple of 4 and 5, and we are interested in the least, in the smallest. This number is smallest. So the smallest least common multiple, I'm saying factors, so is 20. So these two guys are the factors of 20, 40, and 60, and the least common multiple for 4 and 5 is 20. Good. 3 and 7.
You okay?
Yeah, 3 and 7.
So 3 and 7.
3 and 7 divides 21.
Oh.
So 21 is the least common multiple. You got it. 6 and 11. 6 and 11. If you multiply them, we get 66. 66 is divisible by both of them.
Least common multiple.
Yeah. And 16 and 8. Now you have to think about it. 16 and 8. Which number is divisible by both of them? And that is smallest?
4.
No, you're thinking in terms of factor. So you're confusing these two things, LCM and greatest common factor thing. So 16 and 8. They both divides 16.
Oh.
Don't they? Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
Both of them, they divide 16 and what else? 32,
Oh.
48, and so on.
I'm confused.
So these numbers are divisible by 8 and 16, right? All these kind of numbers, and we're looking for the least number. So 16 is the smallest number which is divisible by these two numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So 16 is the
Least common multiple.
yeah, that's right. Now, the thing that you confuse with is the greatest common factor. Now let's talk about that. What is the greatest common factor for both of them? Greatest common factor for 16 and 8. That means the number which divides both of them, and the number should be greatest. Now we know that 2 divides both of them, right? 2 divides 16 and 8. 4 divides both of them, and even 8 divides both of them, right? That's it.
Yeah.
These are 4 factors, right? These are the factors. And what is the greatest common factor? Greatest common factor for them is 8.
Yeah.
Now, do you see the difference between these two things? These guys are the factors, and we picked up the greatest. And these numbers are divisible by them. These two numbers divide them, and the least is 16. I hope it makes sense to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. Now the next problem. We write 16
You're doing a good job, Yeti.
there. Yeah, he's doing a good job. What is the least common multiple of 2 and 3?
Least.
Now we know that 6 is
6.
divisible by both of them, and even 12 is divisible by both of them, but we have to pick the least.
6.
6 is the least. They both divide 6, so that's a terrific, according to them. Now 20 and 13.
So.
Now whenever you get like 13 is a prime number, 13 is not divisible by any other number, right?
So we need to put 1.
20 and 13. Pardon?
We need to put 1.
That means 13 is not divisible by anything else. Like it's just 13 times. So 20, we know that 20 is divisible by many numbers, right? Like it's divisible by 2, 10, 20. So we have to find a least common multiple, a number which is divisible by 20 and 13. So in this case, you have to times them. Simply times them. 13 times 2 is 26, and 0 goes in the end. So 260 is the least common multiple of them. That's the least common multiple. So we simply multiply them. Whenever you have a prime number and the another number is not prime, this is a kind of trick. For example, 7 and 10, or 7 and 8. So the LCM for 7 and 8 is going to be 7 times 8, 56. 56 is divisible by 7 and 8. Why do we do multiply? Because that's the kind of obvious way of doing it. Whenever you have a prime number and another number is not prime, so this may be one of the easiest way of doing it. For example, if we look at a prime number, let's say 5. 5 is a prime number, comma 20. Now it's not, because 20 is divisible by 5. So in this case, 20 is the LCM. 20 is divisible by both of them. 20 is divisible by 20 and 5. So the LCM of these numbers is 20. And so for that, we're gonna write 10 and 15. You must answer that one now. 10 and 15. Yes, please.
Oh, it's almost 5.
5 is the greatest common factor.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 5.
Alright, so we'll finish it here. 10 and 15. The least common multiple is a number which is divisible by both of them. And you answered 5. 5 is the greatest common factor. Right? It's the greatest common factor. It's not LCM. In order to find LCM, you may break it down like 10 is 5 times 2 and 15 is 5 times by 3, right?
Yeah.
And then you can write down all the numbers once. Like, now what we have here, we have 5 common, right? 5 there. And what else we have? We have a 2. 2 is not common. Now we don't think about writing common numbers, just write down all the numbers. Don't repeat them. 5, 2, 3. And the multiplication of them is going to be the LCM of these two numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So the LCM of them is the factors, prime factors, write them all there.
Mm-hmm.
But don't repeat them, like 5, 2, 3, and the multiplication of that is 30. So the 30 is the least common multiple of that. Now we'll finish it there, and I hope you understand all those concepts very well. Right? See you next time, Lisa.